Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo. Say hello to everybody, Gnarlo. Good boy. We're camped out here. We left off right outside the door of Bag End, looking out over the picturesque lands of the Shire, down toward the party field and the party tree. Area is very famous in Shire lore, and have been very important in the last few days as we've been running missions for Miss Lobelia right over there. Lobelia sackville-baggins, who wanted fireworks for her birthday. But we have finished up with that little task at the moment, and we are going to head back to the Greenfields and see if we can continue along with the epic mission, since running the epic mission is the basic point of this Let's Play here. So we're going to run from the hill back over here to Brockenborings, that y'all remember, and then up into the Greenfields. Over here where Gothimble's Hole is, the little collection of goblins. And we're going to see if this time we can't manage to kill a few of the goblins. So let's get on our way. And it is just getting to be dawn. Sun will be rising here shortly. And we'll have some good light for our little adventure there. So, another thing I'm going to do, I didn't think I've shown y'all these. You have, with every one of the professions that comes along, you get a skill that allows you to track the resources you need for it. For instance, being an explorer, let me turn his names back on, as we have Gnarlo, easily lost. Being an explorer, you get to track wood and track mines, which are the ore deposits. And right now I'm mostly interested in wood, so I'm going to turn that on. And as you see, back up, these little things appear on your map here, the little green dots with, it looks like maybe crossed tools, crossed hammers or something on it. That'll show up on your map as a resource area. And then you can come in with the proper tool, like with the axe here. You can chop down the branches and collect them. And I've gotten a log of rowan wood from that. Alright. And the sun must have just risen, because I noticed the Shire music started instead of the night music. So we should see the sun coming up and getting brighter here shortly. I'm going to continue on over into Brockenboring, and I will meet you when we arrive over there. Alright, we're coming into Brockenborings. Along the way I gathered several more branches of rowan wood. Okay, and we will continue on. Let me see what this fella has. While we're headed out into the fields, let's just check a couple of these. Have you heard the rumors yet? Friends of mine are saying that Pansy Tunley down at Skerry saw a goblin on the Greenfields, and that there is sure to be more of them creeping into the Shire. This is terrible news. The grazing on the Greenfields is better than anywhere else, and I bring my sheep out there every day. What will I do if goblins surprise me out there? I heard some goblins are particularly skilled with spears. I could be a pincushion before I even saw them. You'd be putting my mind at ease if you could make sure there are none of those spear-throwing goblins in the North Greenfields, Gnarlo. I would feel a lot better if I knew there were really no goblins out there at all. Well, very good. Why don't we go with that too? I said, oftentimes, you know, it is very good to pick up these little quests as you go. You can actually level up pretty quickly if you go into one of these areas where basically there's a quest hub, and pick up as many of the quests as possible. A lot of times they will all be somewhat related and in the same area that you're going anyway. Alright, I don't see any others. There's one up at the end, but I'm not going to bother with that one right at the moment. Let's drop Mr. Hornblower off our screen. We'll have another one right up here along the way. And that is Bodo Goodbody. Let's see what he's wanting. There have always been bears on the Greenfields, but recently something has made them angry. They've begun attacking shepherds and sheep alike, and I don't know how long it will be before someone is seriously hurt. If you can discourage the bears from the Greenfields, it will be much safer for those of us whose work takes us north of Brockenborings, and also for those of us who just like a pleasant walk in the sun. Would you be of a mind to help? I'm sure it would be much appreciated. All right. So he wants us to hunt bears while we're out here as well. So there should be plenty of those. Let us come on out and see. Oh, and it looks like it's starting to rain. We picked a rainy day in the Shire. How nice. Wish we could get some of this blasted stuff where I'm living, because we're in the middle of a drought right now. But anyway. Alright, we're going to head up this way, see if we can find that little corner with goblins in it. See if we can manage to pull just one of the little blighters. And bring him out where we can get a hold of him. I'm sure we can take them on one at a time. We're killing other things that are yellow to us, and I'm sure that the goblins will be yellow to us as well. It's just a question of getting them so that you can get just the one and not get ganged up on. Also, avoid these bears and wolves while we're at it too. Alright. Here are the markers that show us where the beginning of the goblin territory is. Let's see if we can find one. Alright. Let's try for this hurler over here. Looks like he's by himself. Perhaps we can pull him out this way. Alright. And we're going to pull on out this way. Get him away from the others. I'm also going to turn on my super evade. And he's netted us again, as you see there. Let's throw one of our tricks that way to slow him up. Very good. And he's down. See what this is for a second. Let me move that. I kept wanting to click it. I definitely don't want to take an unexpected ride back to where I'm bound. Let's see what we got off of him. A broken dagger. Alright. So yes, we don't have too bad a problem getting them one by one. We'll just have to see. And we've managed to defeat one goblin now. Let's see if we can take out 9 more of these suckers. And, oh, that also got us there. We defeated one spear-wielding goblin. So, alright. You by yourself? Yes, you are. Let's get your attention. And we've now officially made it to Goffimble's Hole, which is a sentence I never really thought that I would find myself uttering. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but being inside Goffimble's Hole has never been one of my life's goals. Great, yeah, get you down to where you're hurt, and then you want to run off. Alrighty. I didn't want to chase after him with that hurtler coming this way. Yeah, you're not going... There you go. Alright. A lot of the humanoid creatures like goblins, orcs, half-orcs, those kind of things, one of their big drops is they will drop coins, as you just saw there. They'll have the regular drops also, broken sword sheaths, broken daggers, that sort of thing, but they'll also drop coins. and their raw state, so that you don't have to go and trade them in at a vendor somewhere. Alright. Are you going to get close enough that we can pull you? Yes, you will. Very good. Alright, let's get you away from everything else. Come on. Why can't you hit him? Because you're not targeted on him, that's why. Blast. Sometimes getting this targeting system to actually lock on to the one that you're trying to tab onto can be the hardest part of your entire combat. Come on, come on. I'm going to drink a health potion right quick. Okay. There. So one thing about the health potions is that it is very good to use them. I've discovered, especially playing my main all the way up through his 65 levels that he is, that you will get a bazillion of the things. So don't really hoard them. There's plenty coming your way. You can always buy more. Should you need to, but that is very rarely necessary in my personal experience. Our spear thrower over on the other side has come back, so I'm going to take him out now. And I'm just going to continue doing this. I'm just going to continue swapping from one side to the other. So I'm probably not going to say very much. And I'll either cut this out or fast forward through it. Unless, something weird happens like I get killed or something like that. Alrighty, we've just killed our 6th goblin and our 4th spear hurler, and I believe we have gotten our first one of these. Yeah, I don't think I've showed y'all one of these yet. This right here is a recipe. With the crafting, you can get recipes that you have to use to use your raw materials. For instance, this will give you the heavy padded helm recipe. And as you see there, it gives you a heavy padded helm. And you learn that by right-clicking on it. You have to be a tailor, which being an explorer, I do have the tailor skill. That's the third one of the 3 skills. And you would learn it by simply right-clicking on it. And it would add yet another recipe to your inventory. You always start out with a certain number of recipes, and this is probably the primary means that you find additional ones. You can buy some off the vendors. Yeah, you can find the rest of them either off of mobs, and usually the humanoid mobs, or else you buy them from the auction house. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on it. And you see, you take out your book and you scribe it in, the little bar goes by. And then it disappears, and you have now learned the knowledge of the heavy padded helm recipe. So, alright, back to goblin killing. Alright, I've been seeing this blue arrow pop up on my map Resources that are off, towns that are off the edge of your map will have a gold arrow pointing toward them. Towns and other sites like that. Resources will have a blue arrow, and I've been seeing that. These are ash branches. And yeah, they're too high for me. As you see, they're the second. You have to be a journeyman forester. So I've got to work my way through the rowan branches before I'll be able to take on those. The same thing with the ore deposits out here. You know, we've been doing copper and tin. Out here in the Greenfields, you find barrow iron, and that's the second tier. So, alright, our guard is back. So, let us go back to take him out here. And we'll continue with our slaying. Thinking about it, I really wish I hadn't used the evade on the guard here. The evade, from what I've seen, is far more useful against the spear hurlers, since they tend to attack you from further away. I really haven't had any trouble with the guards whatsoever, except when they start running away from me. And then it's just a matter of keeping up with them long enough to kill them. There you go. Alright, and as you see here, like I said, you gain plenty of these power and morale potions. So there is really no need to hoard them. I have never had a problem with having more than enough. Alright, so we're going to 8 goblins. We need to kill 2 more. And we need to kill 1 more spear-wielding goblin here. So let's see what we can find out this way before that other spear chucker comes back. And there's another guard. Last time it was a hurler wandering around. Okay. I'm back on up so nothing else wanders up. And attack we go. And down he goes. Alrighty, our spear hurler has come back. This should finish off both those quests, the defeat spear-wielding goblins and the defeat goblins for the Goblin Foothold. So I'm going to zoom all the way in and let y'all see what combat looks like close up, because the models really are quite nice. If you call ugly, disgusting goblins nice. And he's netted us once again. And now he wants to run away. I don't want to chase him because he's going to run away right into the midst of all those other goblins. So let us just wait for a second and let him come back to us. Wait long enough, they'll heal up a point or two, and then they'll come back and you can take them out. Alright, very good. We got 2 check marks. We need to go back and talk to Halros, our ranger friend, and go back to talk to Ponto Hornblower. So let's go to talk to Ponto first. Get him out of the way. And then we'll go on out into the fields and talk to Halros the Ranger. And I've got a feeling that will wrap it up for this episode. But let us just see. We'll see what the next step along the epic line is. I was sure we should be able to do it. Like I said, as long as you can get in there and pull the goblins one by one, which isn't hard to do. You just kind of check their pattern. The biggest thing is, and the biggest problem we had the first time I tried it, was just the ads. You don't want to be in there too far where the wandering goblins are going to come along and jump into your fight. Oops. Sorry there, Bodo. I was meant to talk to Ponto. Not that all of you look alike or anything like that. Alright, Ponto Hornblower. It's safe, are you sure? Nothing to worry about? Oh, that is such a relief. Thank you, thank you. He's going to give us a gift Matham, which we will show you next time at the Matham house. And we get to choose stuffed cabbages, which are a type of food item that you can eat, or Hornblower's feet, which, let's see here. It's light armor. It's not nearly as good as Primstone shoes are. So we will skip those for now. We could use them and trade them in for money, but actually, let's get a little food. And, yeah. That way we can take on perhaps even more difficult encounters next time. We'll eat a little food first. And food gives you bonuses to your stats. It gives you or at least trail food will give you bonuses to your stat. Real cooked food like that will give you usually a morale bonus every round, every tick of combat will give you a bump up on your morale so that you're constantly kind of getting an over-the-time healing spell. And will also give you benefits to stuff like fear and that sort of thing. Alright, here's Halros with the big flaming ring over his head. And let's go see what Halros has to say. Alright, Mr. Halros. Mr. Ranger, sir, we've killed all the goblins you wanted. You have returned, Gnarlo, and not a moment too soon. I'm afraid to say that the goblin presence is much greater than I expected. There are already 2 camps of the creatures in the Greenfields. The goblins are led by a chieftain, as you might expect, but I have come across something unusual. There are whispers that the chieftain reports to someone else. I have not learned the identity of this mysterious figure, but he does not seem to be a goblin, which troubles me. All right, we can finish now. Let's see. He's giving us a reward of Golakor, which is going to be a piece of jewelry for our wrist, and will increase our power by 10. And power is basically mana. And he's also going to give us Halros' long sword. And this is definitely a much better sword. It's still a one-handed sword, but it's got 8.5 DPS instead of 5.2. Once again, a slight increase to... and a slight increase in its durability. So let us finish now. Excellent. Alright. So you see we've completed the Goblin Foothold. Alright. Next mission in the prologue. Troubles to come. 2 goblin encampments. I cannot understand what would bring goblins to the Shire after so long and in such numbers. Bounder Primrose must be warned of the grave threat these goblins pose. Go to the watch house in Brockenborings and give him these tidings. Just head back along the wall and to the west. His town will be the first to fall if the goblins attack, so he deserves as much warning as we have to give. Warn him to be wary, however, not to wag his tongue too much. It would do more harm than good to panic these people. So... next step will be go back there and talk to Bounder Primrose. You'll remember him. He's the Bounder that we talked to whenever, what was her name? Penny Tunnelly? When she was looking for the headless goblin ghost on the Greenfields here. We went and showed him the goblin tooth. So we'll be heading back to him. And when we do, I guarantee we will ding up to 11th level. Like I said, they have really boosted the experience that you earn these days so that you simply fly through these areas, which is good if you want to if you're just jumping in the game, want to catch up with friends and all that. But the other thing is, it's nice to, at least the first time through these beginning areas, it's nice to be able to take your time, have some fun, play the quest, go on a lot of these little side missions and stuff, which the Shire has about 5,000 of them. And, I think you just lose out on something. But like I said, for established players, it's nice to be able to tear through these early levels and early missions and get them out of the way and get your character leveled up. So, anyway, that's my editorializing for the morning. I hope y'all have a good day today. Thank y'all for watching so very much. There's my phone, and that's the sign to say goodbye. So, goodbye, and we'll see you next time.